Imagine a tiny tenant. What if I told you this tenant could be the reason you can't eat pizza anymore? Unseen and often unfelt, making a home within you. Did you know a tiny spiral-shaped bacteria could be living inside your stomach right now? It's called Helicobacter pylori, often shortened to H. pylori. This resilient microbe has a knack for thriving in one of the most acidic environments in your body. Shockingly, you might have gotten it from your first kiss. Nearly half the world's population carries it. 4 billion people host this stomach invader, but 3 out of 4 will never know. Why? And the majority of those infected never even notice its presence, remaining completely asymptomatic. But for some, this silent inhabitant is the hidden cause of years of discomfort, the source of chronic ailments, stomach pain, persistent and nagging, ulcers, painful sores that can significantly impact quality of life, and in the most severe cases, even cancer, a stark reminder of the potential consequences of a long-term, untreated infection. H. pylori is a microscopic corkscrew, a shape that's key to its survival. It's perfectly designed to burrow into your stomach lining, finding refuge in the protective mucus layer. This location allows it to evade the direct assault of the harsh acid, but that's not all. It produces an enzyme called urease that neutralizes stomach acid in its immediate vicinity, creating a safe bubble for itself, a microenvironment where it can thrive and multiply. For decades, doctors mistakenly blamed stress and spicy foods for ulcers, a misunderstanding that delayed effective treatment. That is until 2 Australian researchers, Barry Marshall and Robin Warren, discovered H. pylori was the real culprit, a groundbreaking revelation. Their pioneering work challenged conventional wisdom and ultimately earned them a Nobel Prize. This changed everything, a paradigm shift in our understanding of gastric diseases. Suddenly, ulcers could now be cured with antibiotics, a simple yet revolutionary solution. Ulcers were not just managed with lifestyle changes, but eradicated with targeted medication. But if this bacteria is so common, affecting such a large portion of the global population, how does it get into our bodies in the first place? What are the pathways of transmission? Understanding its journey, its mode of transmission, is the first step to protecting your health and preventing infection. Let's find out how this invisible guest makes itself at home, and what we can do to prevent its unwelcome arrival. So how does this microbe beat your stomach's acid? It cheats. The highly acidic environment is designed to be a hostile place. Most bacteria simply can't survive here. But H. pylori or Helicobacter pylori is a master infiltrator, uniquely adapted to thrive in this seemingly impossible environment. Its distinctive spiral shape isn't just for show. It lets it effectively drill into the stomach's delicate lining, where it can establish a long-term residence, living for years, often without you even knowing it's there. So what is H. pylori's secret weapon? How does it manage to survive the stomach's acidic onslaught? It all comes down to an enzyme called urease, which cleverly turns urea, a waste product in your body, into ammonia, effectively neutralizing the acid in its immediate surroundings. This creates a localized safe zone, a microenvironment where it can survive and multiply. This allows the bacteria to thrive, replicating and further colonizing the stomach lining. All the while, your immune system is constantly battling it endlessly, sending waves of immune cells to try and eradicate the infection. Over time, this constant fight, this ongoing battle between the bacteria and your immune system causes chronic inflammation, gastritis, inflammation of the stomach lining, and ultimately weakens your stomach's natural defenses, making it more vulnerable to further damage. The result? Painful ulcers, open sores that develop in the lining of the digestive tract. These ulcers are especially common in the stomach and the upper part of the small intestine, known as the duodenum. H. pylori is a major culprit, responsible for up to a staggering 90% of intestinal ulcers. If you've had stress-induced heartburn, this might change everything, and a significant 80% of stomach ulcers. Therefore, understanding this tiny invader's power, its mechanisms of survival, and its impact on your health is absolutely crucial. But how does it spread so easily from person to person, silently infecting a large portion of the global population? Let's explore its path of transmission and uncover the ways this resilient bacteria makes its way from one host to another. H. pylori spreads mainly through person-to-person contact, sharing utensils, cups, or even kissing. It can also travel via the fecal-oral route, especially when hand washing and sanitation are poor. Most infections happen in childhood, often in crowded settings like schools or daycares. Contaminated food and water are major sources in areas with poor sanitation. Many people carry the bacteria for years without symptoms, unknowingly passing it to others. Not everyone exposed gets infected. Genetics and immune response play a role. With so many silent carriers, how do you know if you have it? Let's look at the warning signs your body might send. For many, H. pylori causes no symptoms, but for others, it triggers persistent stomach pain, often a dull or burning ache between the breastbone and navel. Other signs include bloating, feeling full quickly, frequent burping, loss of appetite, nausea, or unexplained weight loss. These symptoms are easy to mistake for indigestion or stress. If any of these sound familiar, pause this video and book a test. Then come back for treatment secrets. Many people self-treat with antacids, masking the real problem. If ulcers develop and bleed, you might notice black tarry stools or vomit that looks like coffee grounds. These are medical emergencies. The key is to listen to your body. Persistent stomach discomfort isn't normal. Don't ignore ongoing symptoms. Get checked. So how do doctors uncover this hidden infection? Let's see how H. pylori is diagnosed. Diagnosing H. pylori, the bacteria responsible for many stomach issues, is the first crucial step towards relief and a healthier digestive system. Fortunately, diagnosis is generally straightforward and non-invasive, meaning you won't have to undergo any particularly uncomfortable procedures. One of the most common methods is a drink that makes your breath reveal the bacteria, which is quick, easy, and accurate. During this test, you drink a special liquid, and if H. pylori is present in your stomach, it's detected in your breath when you exhale. Another common diagnostic tool involves stool antigen tests. These tests check for the presence of bacterial proteins, specifically antigens, in your stool sample, indicating an active infection. Blood tests can also be utilized. However, it's important to note that blood tests can only show past exposure to H. pylori, but not necessarily a current active infection. In some cases, particularly when further investigation is needed, doctors may recommend endoscopy. This procedure allows them to look directly at your stomach lining using a small camera and, if necessary, take a biopsy for further analysis. If H. pylori is indeed found, the good news is that treatment is usually quite simple and effective. The standard treatment typically involves a combination of antibiotics to kill the bacteria and acid-reducing medication. This approach is commonly known as triple therapy due to the combination of medications used. It's absolutely crucial to finish the full course of medication as prescribed by your doctor. Even if you start to feel better before the medication is finished, it's important to complete the entire course to ensure the bacteria is completely eradicated. After treatment is complete, doctors will typically retest to confirm that H. pylori has been successfully eliminated. This follow-up test is essential to ensure the infection is completely gone and to prevent any potential recurrence. Getting diagnosed and treated for H. pylori is a significant step towards improving your overall gut health. Successfully eradicating this infection can end years of discomfort, alleviate persistent stomach pain, and prevent serious complications such as ulcers or even stomach cancer. So, if you're experiencing persistent digestive issues, don't ignore the signs. Seek medical advice and get tested. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. It really helps us out and lets us know you want more content like this.